Hello students, myself Maitri Dave and today we are going to discuss about classification of arches. So let us begin our today's lecture. So basically when I talk about the classification of arches, it is classified under three types. First is according to shape, then according to number of centers and then according to the material and the workmanship. So when I talk about the according to the shape, here again it is further classified into 10 types. First is the flat arch, then the segmental arch, then the semicircular arch, horseshoe arch, pointed arch, Venetian arch, Florentine arch, relieving arch, stilted arch and semi-elliptical arch. So there are basically 10 types of arches according to shape. Now let us see the classification according to the number of centers. So here we can say it can be of one centered arch, two centered arch, three centered arch, four centered arch and the five centered arch, right? And when we talk about the last type, the according to the material and the workmanship, we can say it is classified as the stone arch, brick arch, concrete arch, right? And when we talk about the stone arch, it can be rubble arch and the ashlar arch. When we talk about the brick one, it is the rough arch, Xed or rough cut arch, or we can say the gauge arch and the purpose made brick arch. And lastly, for the concrete arch, it can be concrete blocks, unit arch and the monolithic arch. So let us start to understand all these according to shape first. So here, let us talk about first the classification of arches according to shape, where the first is the flat arch. So a flat arch has usually the angle formed by skew backs at 60 degree with horizontal, thus forming an equilateral triangle with intrados as the base. The intrados is apparently flat, but it is given a slight rise of camber of about 10 to 15 mm per meter width of opening to allow for small settlements. However, the extra dose is kept horizontal and flat. Flat arches are used only for light loads and for span up to 1.5 meter as shown in this figure. Now let us talk about the second type, which is the segmental arch. So this is the common type of arch used for buildings. The center of arch lies below the springing line. The thrust transfer to the abutment is an inclined direction as shown in this figure. Third one is the semicircular arch. So this is the modification of segmental arch in which the center lies on the springing line and the shape of the arch curve is of a semicircle. So a thrust transformed to the abutment is perfectly in vertical direction since the skew back is horizontal as shown in this figure. Fourth one is the horseshoe arch. It means the arch has the shape of the horseshoe incorporating more than a semicircle. Such type of arch is provided mainly from architectural consideration. Fifth one is the pointed arch. So this is also known as the Gothic arch. It consists two arcs of circles meeting at the apex. The triangle formed may be equilateral or isosceles. In the latter case, it is known as the Lancet arch. Here you can see a clear image of it. Sixth one is the Venetian arch. So this is another form of pointed arch which has deeper depth at crown than the springing. It has four centers all located on the springing line as shown in this figure. Seventh one is the Florentine arch. So this is similar to Venetian arch except that the intrados in a semicircle. The arch has thus three centers, all located on the springing line. Now the eighth one is the relieving arch. So this arch is constructed either on a flat arch or on a wooden lintel to provide greater strength, and the end of the relieving arch should be carried sufficiently into the abutments. The relieving arch makes it possible to replace the decayed lintel later without disturbing the stability of the structure as shown in this figure. Ninth one is the stilted arch. It means it consists of a semicircular arch with two vertical portions at the springings. So the center of arch lies on the horizontal line through the tops of vertical portion. And the last one is the semi-elliptical arch. This type of arch has the shape of a semi-ellipse. It may have either 3 centers or 5 centers as shown in this figure. Now let us understand classification based on number of centers. It means there are 5 types, in which the first one is the one center arch. So the segmental arches, semicircular arches, flat arches and the tilted arches comes under this category. Sometimes a perfectly circular arch known as bull's eye arch is provided for circular windows as shown in this figure. The second type is the two-centered arch. It means pointed arches comes under this category. Semi-elliptical arch and the Florentine arch come under this category as shown in this figure. The third one is the three-center arch. It means elliptical arches comes under this category particularly. The fourth one is the four-center arch. It has 4 centers, where the Venetian arch is a typical example of this type, and another example are the Tudor arch. Here it is the image of a Tudor arch. Now the last one is the 5-center arches. It has 5 centers. It gives a good semi-elliptical shape as shown in this figure. So now with this we will move to according to the material and workmanship classification. So where the first is the stone arch and accordingly the rubble and ashlar arch. So let us start with the first one, stone arch. So based on workmanship, these are subdivided into 2 types, rubble and the ashlar arch, right? So let us start with the rubble arch. Rubble arches are very weak and used only for inferior work. These are used up to span of 1 meter. These are made of rubble stones which are hammer dressed roughly to shape and size and fixed in cement mortar. Sometimes these are also used as relieving arches up to a depth of 37.5 cm, but these are constructed in one ring. If the depth is more, we can go for 2 rings in alternate course of header and stretcher as shown in this figure. Now, the second is the ashlar arch. So in this type, the stones are cut to proper shape of washers and are fully dressed, set in lime or cement joint with proper bed joints. Up to depth of 60 cm, the washers are made of full thickness of the arch. So here for determining the wedged shape of washers, it is preferable to set out the arch on a level platform, marking on it the keystone and the washers along with the radial mortar joint as shown in this figure. Ashlar stones can also be used to make flat arches in which the joints are either joggled or the repeated as shown in this figure. Now the second type is the brick arch. So based on it, the workmanship, these are subdivided into 4 types. First is the rough brick, then the etched brick, then the gauge and the purpose made brick. So let us start with the first one, rough brick arch. So these are constructed with ordinary bricks without cutting to shape washers. So the arch curve is provided by forming wedge-shaped joints with greater thickness at extradoors and smaller thickness at the intradoors. So it looks unattractive. That's why it is not recommended for the exposed brickwork as shown in this figure. Now the next type is the etched brick arch. So in this arch, the bricks are cut wedge shape with the help of brick ends. Due to this, the joints are of uniform thickness along the radial line. However, the appearance of the arch is not very pleasant because the bricks cut to wedge shape are not finely dressed as shown in this figure. Next is the gauge brick arch. This type of arch is constructed of brick which are prepared to exact size and shape of washer by cutting it by means of wire shoe. The surfaces of the bricks are fine dressed with the help of a file. For this, only soft brick are used. The joints formed in gauge brick arch are fine, thin and truly radial. Lime putty is used for this kind of jointing. As shown in this figure, you can have a clear idea of this gauge brick arch. And last type is the purpose made brick arch. In this type of arch, the bricks are manufactured matching with the exact shape and size of washers to get a very fine workmanship. Lime putty is used for this jointing, right? So here you can see a clear example of purpose made brick arch. Now the third type is the concrete arch. So based on workmanship, again it is classified into two types, the precast and the monolithic type, right? So let us understand first the precast concrete block arch. In precast concrete block arches, the blocks are cast in molds to the exact shape and size of washers. For keystone and skew bags, special molds are prepared. This will give good appearance because of exact shape and size. Joints made of cement mortar are quite thin. Casting of block is costly and such work is economical only when the number of arches is quite large. So here the cement concrete of 1 gem 2 gem 4 mix is usually used. Now let us move to the second type, which is the monolithic concrete arch. So monolithic concrete block arches are suitable for the larger span. These are constructed from cast in situ concrete. These may be either plain or reinforced depending upon the span and the magnitude of the loading. Arch thickness is 15 cm for arches up to 3 meter span. Formwork is used for casting the arch and removed when the concrete is sufficiently hardened and gains strength. The curing is done for 2 to 4 weeks. In this figure, you can see a clear idea about the monolithic concrete arch. So with this, we have understand the classification of arches in detail. I hope you understand all the topics in detail. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next lecture.